No, I've still got the fucking mic delay. That is winding me up. I don't understand why. It doesn't do it. It doesn't do it locally, but it does it. It does it online. I don't understand why. It's so annoying. Right. I'm just going back online on YouTube now. So I'm back online on YouTube. I think. Let me double check. Let me double check. Let's just see if I've got that mic delay. No, I've still got that mic delay. I have checked these settings over and over again. I've got the option to put a mic delay in, and I haven't managed to. I don't know why I've got this delay. It's not happening locally. It's just happening online. It must be purely down to the purely down to the software, and I don't know why. So I'm gonna. I'd give up with that. Right. Anyway, that's the papers. That's the papers. Let's dispense with that. Right now, chronic illness. Chronic illness. Now, here's the thing. Um, Chronic illness is defined as persistent. Hello, HXG. How you doing? I've got a problem with mic lag, and I can't crack it. It's winding me up. Chronic illness is defined as persistent and long lasting. Medically, long lasting is anything over 3 months. Um, there's two chronic illnesses that feature in the news a lot. CFS Higgins, all right, I'll call you Higgins. All right, okay, Higgins, I'll call you Higgins. CFS, which is chronic fatigue syndrome, and fibromyalgia. Is that how you say it? Yeah, which is, as I understand it, is constant pain in every single joint. Um, and those are two that up until just recently people have dismissed as figment of the imagination or imaginary illnesses. I guess in some ways I did until I actually, hi Tracy, yeah, they do, yeah. Until I've got cancer, and one of the side effects of cancer is I get what's called CRF, which is cancer related fatigue, which you would call CFS, chronic fatigue syndrome. And I get really tired. I mean, today, for instance, I got up at 10 o'clock this morning. I was back in bed at midday, and then I got up at just after 1 because I wanted to make a Skype. I wanted to make a Skype call, and I did that. I did the Skype call, and I went back to bed again. So I've actually been to bed twice since I've got up. So, and that's chronic tiredness. I mean, I've only got to walk out to the car, and I get very tired. Fibromyalgia, I believe, is a disease where you ache all over, and there's no real cause for the pain. So I haven't experienced that. I don't know what fibromyalgia is, but I know it exists, and I know that a lot of people fought for a long while to get that recognised. But we'll talk about other ones. We'll talk particularly about lung conditions. I've got a lung condition called bronchiectasis. Now, I will explain what that is. That is the bronchi in my lungs. They're normal. That normal people's bronchi are, say, that size. My bronchi are that size. The reason is that when I got pneumonia, I spent nearly a year coughing, and I was coughing every day from the minute I got up to the minute I went to bed, and I actually did damage to my lungs. So much so that it caused my bronchi to expand. Because my bronchi have expand, they overproduce sputum, and I constantly have to clear it out of my system. Otherwise, I end up drowning in it. But it's not just drowning in it. It causes other problems, like if dirt or anything gets underneath the sputum and I don't clear it out, it can cause me infections. Now, this disease, bronchiectasis, is chronic and it's degenerative. It's chronic because I'm going to suffer it for more than 3 months. In fact, I'm going to suffer it for the rest of my life. It's degenerative because every time I have an exasperation, a flare up of my bronchiectasis caused by something, an infection, which I've just got over another one this week. I'm sweating a bit just talking to you. And I've got two fans blowing on me full speed. Um, it does a little bit more damage to my lungs and causes a bit more aggro. So every time I have a coughing fit, it causes me a bit more aggro. It's similar to, but it's not quite COPD. COPD is something different, and that's another one of these chronic conditions that people up until just recently have sort of dismissed as make believe or a made up condition. Now I don't have COPD. COPD, as I understand it, and I could be wrong, but COPD is smoking related. I don't smoke. I used to, but I don't anymore. Not since I had pneumonia. That's guaranteed to make you pack it up. However, a couple of friends of mine have COPD, and I've got one of them on the line actually, and we're going to have a talk to him. So you normally see him chatting on the thing, but I'm actually going to go to him now. So I'm actually going to put Mickey up on the screen for you. So hopefully you should be able to see him in a couple of seconds. Evening, Mickey. How are you?
Hiya. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, yeah. I told you it'd look a bit different on the screen to what you actually had. Here it
Well,
comes. It's coming up now. Right, there you go. See?
ah,
See? Yeah. Remember,
yeah,
there's a delay between what I'm saying here with you and what actually goes out on the screen. So, Mickey, you've got COPD, yeah?
yeah. Early stages. Probably diagnosed now about 2.5 years. Um, yeah. uh, it is actually um, COPD is actually when you exhale, you can't exhale all the air from your lungs because, well, like you say, it's probably smoking related, but yeah, it just leaves you short of breath, and obviously it is again COPD is a chronic obstruction, which is the O, pulmonary, which is your lungs, and disease, which is a medical, and basically yeah, that's what excuse me, and there you go, that's part of it. Yeah,
Okay. How long ago was it you were diagnosed with this?
um, probably 2.5 years. I think they do. I think it's called a spitometry test where you blow through tubes and that and see the capacity of your lungs, things like that. And from that, they diagnosed me with mild COPD. Um, Basically, they gave me just an inhaler and get on with it. Basically, if it gets worse, go back and see them. But
Did you have the lung function test?
yes, yeah, yeah, that's what spitometry test I think they call it, which is your lung function
Yeah.
test basically, where you have to blow through a tube slowly and then fast, and yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think you get pretty much the same thing with your sort of with your whatever it is. I can't even pronounce what you've got, Steve, mate.
What made you do? What made you? I'm curious. What made you go to the doctors, or what made you? How did you come to be diagnosed with COPD?
Believe it or not, it's through a medical at work. We have an annual medical at work, and in
Okay.
that
Okay.
you do a breath test, which you just blow through a tube, and that tells you your lung capacity. Uh, they contacted my doctor direct, who contacted me, fetched me in, did this. Yeah, spit. Hang on, I've got it written down here. What's it called? A spirometry test. Yeah,
Spirometry. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Do you know, I'm so Mickey Mouse here that I've just realised something, right? That I've got us two on the screen, okay? But
Yeah,
you're on my monitor on my right, but on the screen here, you're on my left. So when I'm looking at you, I'm looking at you on my monitor now, but I'm actually looking in the opposite way to what you are. So I think for the next time, I'm going to have to turn those two round so that I'm on the right and you're on the left. I can actually do that. I can actually do it to make it look, to make it stop looking stupid, so that it looks like I'm actually talking to you. So, is that your lovely wife?
That's my wife and my little doggy. Yeah,
Oh, right, okay, she's running now.
yeah, she is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She's half naked. What's up, sweetheart?
Let me just. I'll come back to you in a second.
Yeah.
Let me just change screens. I will come back to you in a second, Mickey. So, Tracy, when you say asthmatics do what? Sorry, what is it they do? Um, Tracy, I'm just sorry. I've got my. I want to keep up with my audience. So, oh, oh, what's happened here? I've crashed. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. Right. Okay, I've got it now. So hopefully, when I look at you, I'm looking at you the right way round. I've changed everything around, Mickey. Um, graph is slightly different. Oh, what, the same test? Like you have to sit in a. I remember when I had a lung function test, I had to. I had to have things on my nose and a mouthpiece, and then I had to sit in this cubicle where they reduce the they reduce the air pressure to make me to test my lungs. But yeah, um, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what asthma is. My partner suffers with asthma. I don't, and I don't know what COPD is. COPD isn't just lungs, though, is it, Mickey? It's your whole blood and everything else, isn't it?
But no, it's mainly your lung function.
Yeah.
Uh, Reduced lung function, which leaves you breathless. Um, you can have flare-ups where sometimes it's worse than others, basically. But I mean, like running up the stairs. But the thing with COPD, they tell you keep exercising. You know, get your lungs. You know, that way that it won't cure it, but it possibly slow it down for for a while. It's all right. The missus creeping out for a fag.
I'm going to come to you about smoking in a little while. Just out of curiosity, how is it? I the reason I'm talking about chronic illness tonight, and I'll tell you why, is because if you looked on my Facebook, you would have seen that I put a link on there to a BBC documentary. And the BBC documentary was about illness fakers. Well, I thought it was. That was the headline title. Apparently, there are people on social media, Facebook, Instagram, like that, that actually make quite a living out of being ill, out of their illnesses. And it turns out that quite a few of them are fake. I mean, for instance, there was a lady in Australia that actually managed to convince everybody that she had brain cancer, and she raised lots of money. And it turns out she never had cancer at all. And there are other people out there. There was a woman, a very famous influencer, that died last year, and the reason she died is because she'd managed to convince the medical profession that she had something wrong with her stomach, so she had a stoma fitted. Right? I mean, how do you convince a doctor to have an operation like that? She had a stoma fitted, and she worked out that if she swapped her feeding tube and her fecal matter tube over, she would give herself an infection and make herself look really ill. So she did that, and she got a lot of sympathy for it. And she thought, this is good. So again, she swapped over her fecal matter and her feeding tube, and got another infection and got a lot of other sympathy for it. And then she did it a third time, and it killed her. So there's a lot of people out there that actually fake chronic illness. Yeah. Oh my God, Tracy. Yeah, indeed. And they fake chronic illness to the point that they've actually killed themselves. At the same time, and I cite Reddit for this, there's a group of people on Reddit that go around social media and they try and debunk people who are making a living out of their illness. They try and catch them out, if you like. They try and say, well, you're not really ill. You haven't really got CFS. You haven't really got fibromyalgia. You haven't really got cancer. And and these people that are doing it are constantly forced to prove to the world that they've got an illness, and in their constant attempt to prove it, they end up doing the most ridiculous things like killing themselves. Now, I'll be absolutely honest, right? I have cancer, and I don't give a flying fuck if people on Reddit believe that or not. You know, it matters no more to me. I proof, yeah, I've got proof. My God, I've got proof. Look, I'll give you proof all you like. There's all my medical records. Look, no. So I've got millions of letters about my cancer. So, but yeah, I'm not going to prove it. I'm not actually necessarily going to prove it to somebody that I've got cancer. I know I've got cancer. The doctors know I've got cancer. So I've also got bronchiectasis, which here's my full diagnosis: bronchiectasis in left lower lobe, previous follicular lymphoma. That's my cancer. Follicular lymphoma, diagnosed in 2003. Gastroesophageal reflux disease, rhinitis, ex-smoker, low anti-pneumococcal levels. Those are all the things that I've got wrong with me. For anybody out there on Reddit that's interested, that's trying to find out what's wrong with people. So yeah, they're out there, and they're out there trying to prove to people that, trying to debunk all these people that say that they haven't got chronic illnesses, and it's back to what I was saying earlier about things like fibromyalgia and CFS. People still think that they're made up diseases, and in some respects, I do think COPD is made up. So, Mickey, is your COPD made up?
Well, no, definitely not. I'd say you're welcome to my lungs, but no, yours are probably worse than mine. But so no, it's not, and it is degenerative. It will get worse. It won't get better. But no, why would I make that up?
How does it actually affect you in everyday life?
Um, at the moment, it's not too bad. I mean, if a long flight of stairs, yeah, I'm out of breath at the top. I can't. I mean, we were talking about going on holidays the other day, weren't we?
Yeah.
If I can't. I mean, we used to do sort of 5, 10 miles, whatever. I can't do that anymore. Not without having to stop, which is fine for me. I just stop and have a beer, but just leaves you short of breath. Basically, you can't. I mean, even dig in the garden, you get short of breath.
Yeah. No.
There's sweat on me, and pretty much like you, I should imagine, with your thing.
Tracy has just said, Tracy Turner, I know you've come across her over the years, has just said CODB is confirmed by tests, you can't fake it. So all I'm going to say to that, Tracy, is cancer you can't fake, but people still do. Yeah, I know, you still do. People will still claim that they've got cancer. And like I said, this young girl in Australia that did it just recently to get sympathy, I think she got caught out on her wedding day or something ridiculous like that. They do fake it. They do fake cancer. People will still fake cancer, but the only way you can prove it is with tests. But so like COPD, and for a long time the medical profession had thought, hadn't they, Mickey, that COPD was, or not the medical profession, people thought it was a made up disease.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I sat in a room with a nurse for about half an hour going through tests, and believe me, I ain't making it up. Why would you put yourself through that sort of? You can't fake it because the machine isn't going to lie, is it?
No. I know. I agree with you. You can't fake it, but that doesn't stop people on social media from doing it.
Steve can say what the fuck they like. I mean, I know I've got it. I'm living with it.
Yeah.
You know you've got it. You're living with it. I mean, if they, let them. I don't give a fuck what they think. To be fair, excuse me, Tracy.
No, it's all right. You can say fuck. Look, hang on. Fuck, fuckity fuck, fuckity fuck. There we go. Fuck. See, you can say fuck. All right. just in case anybody watching didn't understand, I just said fuck. All right. Okay. Let me just take a little break for a minute, Mickey. I'll come back to you. I'm I'll come back to you because I just want to do something else. So let me just switch to my main screen for a second. Right. Let's put main up there as well. I'm starting to advertise on. I'm starting to advertise on TikTok. And the way I'm doing it on TikTok, I don't know if any of you know about TikTok or know what TikTok is. But the way I'm doing it on TikTok is I'm publishing the joke of the day. I did one the other day, and I've done a couple since. So I'm just going to run my joke of the day.
Three men are waiting at the pearly gates to go into heaven. St. Peter says to the first one, "Are you married?" And he said, "Yep." He said, "Have you ever cheated on your wife? And be honest, because I'll know if you're lying." And the first guy says, "Well, no, in the whole time that I've been married, I never cheated on my wife." And St. Peter says, "Well, thank you for being honest. As a reward, you can have this luxury sports car to go round heaven in." Second guy walks up to St. Peter. St. Peter says, "Have you ever cheated on your wife?" And the guy said, "Well, actually, yes. Yeah, in the time we were married, I did cheat, and just once." And St. Peter says, "Okay, yeah, that's not really that bad. You were honest. As a reward, you can have this Prius to go round heaven in." Third guy comes up to St. Peter, and St. Peter says, "Did you ever cheat on your wife?" And the guy said, "Well, actually, yes. I think I cheated on her about 10 times. And St. Peter says, "Well, you're honest. You've confessed to your sins. I'll forgive you. You can go round heaven on this push bike." About a week later, all three guys meet up. And the guy with the luxury car is crying his eyes out. So the guy with the pedal cycle says to him, "Mate, you've got the best car in heaven. Why are you so upset?" And the guy with the luxury car says, "I've just seen my ex-wife up here in heaven, and she's walking."
Right, sorry, I just wanted to run that and just come back to you now, Mickey. Sorry. That was my joke of the day. I don't know if anybody actually found it funny or not, but that's what I went out on TikTok today. So I don't know whether it's a funny joke or not. You couldn't hear it, of course, because you've got your volume down. You'll be able to watch it on the playback. So we'll see. Right. Yeah. So how does it actually? While I went away on the break, I noticed you lit up the cigarette. You can't get away with it. I can see the smoke. All right. You lit up the cigarette. I don't care.
Off screen, you bastard.
Yeah, I don't care if you want to smoke. I don't smoke, but I'm not one of these. I'm not one of these reformed smokers, so I don't smoke. So I don't actually care. But how do you rationalise still smoking?
I don't. It's something I don't like doing, and I spoke to you this afternoon about it. I don't like doing it. I've tried several times to give up. I've been on your Champix. I'll give up for 6-9 months. I'll have a little hiccup, something will go wrong. I don't know. It's only minor, and the first thing I do is reach for a bloody fag. You know, it's ridiculous, I know, but I don't know. But the point is, Steve, I'm still smoking, and I know that it's accelerated my COPD, but I don't know. I can't rationalise it at all. There is no rationality to it.
Any plans to give it up, or were you like?
I'm always
yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I'm always planning to give it up.
When I smoked, I was always planning to give it up.
Yeah.
And it takes something like, in my case, it was a major drastic event in my life that made me give it up. But you coming back to Champix, I remember that after I came out of hospital that first time and I'd stopped smoking, and I remember posting on Facebook that the GP wanted to put me on Champix, and you are one of those people that said, "I'm going to warn you about Champix, you'll have lurid dreams."
Yep.
You bastard. You undersold it, didn't you? I never had any of those lurid dreams. I was looking forward to having some right dirty dreams, and they never happened. Not one of them. No dirty dreams, no lurid dreams, nothing.
I'm not sharing mine with you.
I felt so let down.
I think Kaz had the same thing as I did.
Yeah, I know. Kaz said exactly the same thing as you did. That you're going to get lurid dreams. I felt so let down. I was actually looking forward to them. I never got any of them. Never got any of them. Tracy, are you still there? Let's see if Tracy's still there.
She's laughing at us.
Right, Champix. I'll tell you what Champix is in a second, Tracy. But did my joke? Could you hear my joke? Because I'm not sure whether my audio worked or not. Right, Champix is well, Google Champix. Exactly as you spelt it. It takes away the nicotine. It takes away the craving that nicotine, doesn't it?
What it does is it shuts down the nicotine receptors in your brain.
There you go. See.
So that when you smoke a cigarette, it tastes like you're smoking shit, basically. And eventually you'll just think, why have I got this thing in my mouth? And then eventually it doesn't happen immediately, but takes some people longer than others. It takes me normally up to 3 to 4 weeks. But eventually you'll think, I don't need these anymore. And then the course runs over 12 weeks, although it can be extended. Hopefully, come the end of that, you're a non-smoker. Well, I was told I was a non-smoker. 6 months later, I'm a smoker again.
That's what Champix does. And we'll come back to Champix in a minute. Apparently, Tracy didn't get my joke. Now, I know you didn't hear it, Mickey, because you're on Skype. You're not listening to me on YouTube. You're on Skype. So I'm going to tell you my joke that I told today. Let's see if you get it, all right? Let's see if Tracy didn't get the joke, right? So I'm going to tell you. There's 3 men waiting at the pearly gates to go into heaven. And the first one goes up to St. Peter, and St. Peter says, well, tell me something. When you were married, did you ever have any affairs? And if you're lying, I'll know. And the guy said, no, I was completely honest, faithful to my wife. And he said, I like your honesty. You can go into heaven. Here's a luxury sports car for you to get round in heaven. Second guy comes up to St. Peter and says, St. Peter says, were you ever unfaithful to your wife? And he said, well, yeah, I was unfaithful to her just once. And St. Peter says, yep, you're completely honest. I agree with you. So here's a Prius to get round in heaven. Third guy comes up. And St. Peter says, were you ever unfaithful? And I'll know if you're lying. And he said, well, yeah, actually I was. He said, I've got to be honest. He said, I was unfaithful at least 10 times. And St. Peter says, okay, you're honest. You've admitted to your sins, but I can't treat you very well because of it. So I'm going to give you a push bike to get round in heaven. About a week later, all 3 guys meet up. And the guy with the sports car, the luxury sports car, is bawling his eyes out. And the guy with the push bike says, what's the matter, mate? You should be the happiest bloke in heaven. You've got a luxury sports car. And he said, I've just seen my wife in heaven and she's walking.
Yeah.
See? He gets it, Tracy. He gets it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so that was my joke of the day. And it wasn't a dirty one. My one yesterday was a dirty one. Oh, you missed it. Did you miss my dirty one? No, my one Wednesday was a dirty one. What was the one that I did yesterday? I thought, oh, Tracy gets the joke now. Right, she gets the joke now. After I said it is at the same time. Right, yeah. So does that tell you what Champix is, Tracy? Again, I've got to remember there's that delay.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
See, my audio, it looks like it's caught up with itself now. Yeah, it is. That's strange. It just wanders in and out like that. And I can't work out why. Oh well. Right, yeah. So Champix didn't help you. Oh, pardon me. Champix didn't help you, Mickey.
It did for the period I was taking them. But as the weeks and the months go by, like I said to you before, you get a little hiccup in your life. It can only be a minor thing, and I'm reaching for a cigarette. And that's not everybody, because a lot of people have had a lot of success with it. But I think I told you earlier that I had my first cigarette when I was 8. I'm now 65, so it's
8.
majority of my life.
8. 8.
Yeah.
I think I started when I was about 11. I might have started a bit earlier actually, because I'm 61, so I'm just a couple of years younger than you. Talking of chronic illnesses and things, right? I just divert for a second. The reason I ended up my cancer is a blood cancer, and it's called follicular lymphoma, and it's the actual lymphocytes in my blood that are cancerous. The lymphocytes, not only are they part of the blood system, they're also part of your lymphatic system, which is part of your immune system. And because my lymphocytes aren't working properly, because they're cancerous, means that I'm immunosuppressed. Now, in February, this is how I caught BX. In February 2019, I caught something called HIB. I've got to emphasise that B, because people think I'm talking about HIV/AIDS. I'm not. I'm talking about HIB, Haemophilus influenza, which is a bacterial infection. Anybody born since 1992 is very lucky because you're immunised against it. Anyone born prior to 1992, like me and Mickey, are not immunised against it, which is why I caught it. Normally, a normal healthy person could actually fight it off. If I didn't have cancer, I could fight it off, and it would be a bit. Somebody's described it once as like COVID on steroids of the things. If you Google it, and you'll be stunned at what the symptoms and what the side effects and what HIB can do to your body, and it really, really racked my body. But a normal healthy person will shake it off, and they won't even know they've got it. But because Mickey's got COPD, and because I had cancer, Mickey hasn't had HIB. But because I had cancer, I caught HIB, and it did loads of damage to my body. And they do now offer, they call it a pneumonia vaccination, but it also vaccinates against HIB. And they've offered it to Mickey this year. Is it this year they've offered it to you? Is it the first year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a once in a lifetime injection. Is the pneumonia one? But I couldn't. The week they wanted me to go, I was away on holiday, and as I said to you earlier, every day now for the past 2 weeks, I've been ringing them up trying to get an appointment so that I can have this injection. But doctors being doctors, the way they are at the minute, I just can't get in. But as soon as I can have it, I shall have it.
And I thoroughly recommend. I thoroughly recommend you do. And anybody that is listening or watching that was born prior to 1992, contact your GP and ask for the pneumonia vaccination. It's actually a dual vaccination. Sorry, go on,
To
Mickey.
be honest, Steve, I didn't know anything about it until the doctors rung me up to make an appointment to take it. I'd never even heard of it before. I didn't even know you could get vaccinated for pneumonia, but obviously it's a thing.
There's actually two types of pneumonia, Vicky. There's bacterial pneumonia, which is HIB, and that's bacterial pneumonia, and there's viral pneumonia. It's viral pneumonia. There's no vaccination for. Bacterial pneumonia, which HIB is what the disease actually does to you. There is a vaccination for, and yeah, it's like I say, it's one that's routinely given to children at a young age. I think they have 2 jabs. One at when they have their MMR jabs. So, no, Tracy, it's not for. It is for people over a certain age now. The pneumonia jab is offered to anybody that was born before 1992, because it was 1992 that we started vaccinating people. Apart from these stupid anti-vaxxers that we've had in those times, you know, the ones that say, I don't want MMR for my child because the risk of brain damage is great, and things like that. So if you ever get offered the pneumonia jab, take it, because believe me, you don't want HIB. You really don't want HIB. Now, talking about anti-vaxxers, right? That's all that's been in the news this week, isn't it? Have you read that, Mickey, in the news? All these bloody anti-vaxxers dying.
Yeah, don't start me on that, mate.
They
You know, it's just.
And they're all saying the same thing. That you've got some high-profile anti-vaxxers that have caught COVID and died. One of them was a health freak.
Yeah, well, that's all I've seen on the papers or whatever just lately. Is people laying in their hospital bed dying of COVID. Anti-vaxxers saying, "I wish I'd taken the jab." You know, well, you're too late.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I've been double jabbed. Have you been double jabbed now?
I can understand people thinking, okay, it's an experimental drug, it hasn't been out, but you have to start somewhere. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, like you're talking about MMR. How did we start that? You know. Okay, they say it took years to develop the MMR jabs, but that was then. Science and technology have moved on so much,
Yeah,
so far in the past 20, 30 years that, yeah, they can produce these things a lot quicker. There you go. Look, Tracy, one of them was a lawyer educated in Cambridge. When he
yeah.
wanted to educate himself about, things like COVID. Um, it's I've got no time for them, mate.
Yeah. Well, I think these people are absolutely crazy, and I mean, it is a shame, and it is a weird kind of karma, and it's not a karma that I not normally I revel in karma. I think karma is. I think when people say karma is a bitch, I totally understand it, and I like it when people get what's coming to them. But I can't
Yeah.
I can't revel in somebody's death. I mean, you
Uh,
know, I think it's lunacy that you
yeah.
you don't have this jab. Um, and like Tracy says, one of them was a highly educated lawyer in Cambridge, and he was actually putting videos out on YouTube, right up until the day before he died, saying how he was beating it and how he was never going to have this and have that, and then he died. It's just crazy people out there. Crazy people out there. Uh, Jennifer Aniston, you know Jennifer Aniston from Friends.
Yeah, yeah.
She will not have anything to do with if any of her friends haven't had the vaccine, she won't have anything to do with them.
Yeah, I saw that today,
Yeah.
actually. It came up on Facebook or something. Yeah, I did see that. And I can understand that.
CNN, you know the news network CNN,
Uh,
they've actually fired 3 people today that turned up at the office and haven't had their jabs.
yeah. I think we're going to see more of that throughout industry over the next few months. I don't know the legality of it or anything like that, but I think a lot of people will make that a condition of employment.
It should be. Like Tracy says, a lot of these anti-vaxxers, they beg for the vaccine before they before they die. It's too late then. You know,
Yeah,
it is just too late, and it's a shame. And I can't revel in their deaths. I can't turn around
uh,
and say I told you so, because it is a tragedy. It is an absolute tragedy that these people are willing to. It comes back to what I was saying earlier about chronic illness. It's a tragedy these people are willing to kill themselves to prove their point, and it doesn't prove their point. It's just crazy. I'm just going through my notes while we're talking about it. What has been overshadowed this year? What's been overshadowed in the news with COVID in the Olympics is this week is actually a very very sad anniversary. 10 years ago this week, we had the Broadwater Farm riots. The Broadwater Farm riots. Do you remember the riots?
I do remember them well, yeah.
Yeah, up at Tottenham there, that
Uh,
spread to Croydon.
mm.
And that was 10 years ago, and it's
I remember the Toxteth riots as well. I don't know how long ago they were.
which ones?
The Toxteth ones up in Liverpool, wasn't it?
Oh, I
Was
think
it?
that I think that I think that was in the 1980s,
Yeah,
1984, with Brixton. They started, didn't they? That
Brixton as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that was 1984. No, but it was the Broadwater Farm riots.
Wasn't that as a result of Lawrence getting murdered or something? Is that what
No,
started those?
not Stephen Lawrence. No,
Oh,
no.
all right. I'm
The Broadwater Farm riots were caused by a guy called Mark Duggan. He'd been shot by police the day before.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He'd been shot by police the day before, and that caused the rioting there. No, Stephen Lawrence. Stephen Lawrence, where he was murdered, is about 2 miles from where I live. I pass the memorial quite often. When Sean first moved down this way, that was one of the first things that I showed her, the Stephen Lawrence Memorial. But that's a bit different. Yeah. Anyway, these Broadwater Farm riots. I mean, they spread everywhere. They spread to Croydon. They spread out as far as Lewisham. Now Lewisham is pretty close to me, so there was a bit of a time that I was a bit worried that the riots would spread out this far, but they never did. But I thought that I would just mention that because 2011 it's just this is just one of those things that's just been overshadowed in the news that everybody's forgotten about these riots. Another news story that's breaking today, right? And the only reason I know about this, I haven't been on the website, I haven't been on the TV channel, I don't know, but I do keep an eye on Twitter. I'm not a great Twitter fan, but I keep an eye on Twitter because sometimes you can find things out on Twitter almost instantly before, as soon as they're happening. One of the things that's been trending on Twitter today is there's a row between Sainsbury's and some of their customers. And the row is over the Nigel Farage TV show on, I forget.
News channel.
Yeah, no, there's a new news channel which I know nothing about.
I think Andrew Neil's got something to do with it as well.
And there's a row about Sainsbury's advertising on the Nigel Farage TV show, and they've got people are boycotting Sainsbury's, and it was quite a major headline, or tweeting. It trended on Twitter for quite a few hours there today.
Right,
So,
yeah.
GB News, thank you, Tracy. GB News, that's right, GB News. Is it Rupert Murdoch or one of them that owns it, or the guy that runs the Daily Mirror? I don't know. It's not a channel I watch. When I mentioned it on Facebook, somebody said to me that I really should watch the channel, be able to give an opinion on it. But I mean, I haven't got an opinion on it. I'm going to say a very rude word, Tracy. I don't give a fuck, right? What Sainsbury's pay for their advertising or not. It really doesn't bother me. So that's my notes. I've gone through all of my notes now.
Have you also seen? I don't know if you must have seen it on Facebook. That they're trying to raise money to get RNLI.
Yes.
Hovercraft.
Yeah. The flying Farage. Yes, yeah. Men behaving dadly.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I think they're up to about 90 grand at the minute.
I gave them a tenner yesterday. Well, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. I mean, for those that don't know, there's a Facebook satire page called Men Behaving Dadly. Not badly, Men Behaving Dadly. And what they've done is they've done a satire fundraising thing to raise money for the RNLI for a new hovercraft that they're going to name, or want to name, the Flying Farage. They're doing this in honour of Nigel Farage, because he accused the Royal National Lifeboat Institute of being taxi drivers for immigrants, which I think was very unjust and very unfair. And I for one, I'm really glad that we have the RNLI. I mean, I've said this before in a stream, but I can't imagine a situation where you see somebody drowning at sea and you phone up the RNLI and say, "Hello, there's somebody drowning at sea. What colour are they?" What do you mean, what colour are they? They're drowning. Can you come out and rescue them? What passport have they got? What do you mean, what passport have they got? I don't know. They're drowning. Can you come and rescue them? Are they illegal immigrants? I don't fucking know. Can you come and rescue them? Well, no, actually, we can only rescue white, legal UK residents. Anybody else, we can just leave to drown. I'm sorry. Hey, can you imagine what a world that would be if we had things like that, Mickey? Can you imagine it?
It's incredible. Yeah.
You know, you can't pre-sort people who are in trouble. Yeah, I'm no lover of these immigrants that are coming in from France. All right. I want the tide to be stemmed, but at the same time, I will not leave them to drown.
Immigration, but let's do it properly, you know, through the proper channels.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the English channel, you know.
Yeah.
But I honestly believe that the French are pushing them over that line so that they're our problem.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. I honestly believe that as well. I mean, I really, there is no love lost between me and the French. All right. I am not a lover of the. I'm not a lover of the French. I'm not a lover of the country. I'm not a lover of the people. It's just.
Yeah, wine's pretty good, man.
No, I don't even drink. Do you know? I don't even drink French wine.
Do you not?
No, I very rarely drink French wine. I actually prefer German wine and Spanish wine.
Yeah.
German wine, white wine, a Riesling is lovely.
Riesling is nice. Hock is nice.
The
Yeah.
hock is nice. Lead from milk, hock is nice. My favourite is red wine, which is a I prefer red wine to white wine. Ooh, I got something in my teeth. Spanish, I prefer Navarra wines.
Yeah.
So, but I very rarely drink French wines. I don't actually like this Beaujolais Nouveau. I don't like them. But my favourite wine is a Rioja, which comes from the Rioja region in Germany.
Germany, yeah.
And they make white and red, and I like a nice Rioja. You can't beat a Rioja for a wine. So no, I don't drink French wine. I don't particularly like French beer either. I prefer Spanish or German beer. But
Germany.
I don't drink French. There's not much about France that I like. I don't like the country and I don't like the people. But at the same time, what I'm saying is that I don't agree with these immigrants coming over here, and I want France to stop them. But
Yeah.
I don't want to do what Katie Hopkins suggested, horrible, horrible woman, and what Nigel Farage suggests. If they're in trouble, if they're drowning in the English Channel, you can't just let them drown. That's
No.
wrong. Even though,
Didn't she get kicked out of Australia, Katie Hopkins? Not so long back. Didn't she get kicked out of Australia
yeah,
for flouting their isolation rules?
yeah.
Yeah.
But even the Australians, when they get immigrants coming in, they don't let them drown. They rescue them and then take them back.
Get them back, yeah.
Oh, we should do that, you know. That's what we should do. That's what we
Yeah.
should actually do. We should actually rescue them and then drop them back in France. That would soon teach the French a lesson. But we can't let them drown. So that's why I'm glad the RNLI are there. And that's why there's... And when I last looked at it, it was up to about 50 grand. It's up to 90, is it now?
Yeah, it's up to about 90,000 now.
Jesus Christ. I mean, it would be fantastic. I would love to see an RNI hovercraft called the Flying
Right.
Farage. That would be brilliant, right? But you know that's going to go the same way as Boaty McBoatface, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe that they didn't call that boat Boaty McBoatface. I mean, come on, seriously, that was a classic name. It's called the Sir Richard Attenborough, isn't it? I think something like that. But,
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
but Boaty McBoatface wouldn't that have been brilliant on the world stage? On the world stage, yeah. What? Tracy says they're going to use it for other things. Is that the RNLI are going to use the money for other things? But it doesn't really matter. I mean, the fact is, the fact that it's out there, they call it the Flying Farage, is, I think, it's just classic British humour, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just classic British humour.
They've even got a mock-up with a picture of his face on the side. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I don't actually support or believe in that Nigel Farage. He's a bit. He strikes me as a bit of a. He's actually. Somebody once said to me that he was a kingmaker. He wasn't a politician. He was a kingmaker, and I can't work out what that means. But there we go. That's that.
But he
Right.
does hold a French passport, you know.
Has he got a French passport?
Yeah.
No, that's why I don't like him then. Now I knew there was a reason. I didn't like him. He's got
Yeah.
a French
Well,
passport.
he spoke all this up about Brexit and that, and at the same time was applying for a French passport.
Oh. Oh, bless him. Bless him. Bless him. Bless him. Bless him. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right, I've done my hour now. I've done my hour. I'm starting to get a bit tired. Oh, I'll tell you what. It's Friday night, right? And I normally used to do this stream at about 10:15 on a Friday night after I dropped the missus off to work, and I'd come back and I could have a nice beer. But a lot of people said to me that I should be doing it a lot earlier, and I am doing it earlier. At 7:30 because I've got to take her for work at 9:00. So I'm doing the stream a bit earlier. But it means I can't have a beer, which is annoying. I've got to have a cup of tea instead.
Cup of coffee.
Yeah, I've drunk my tea, but it's in my cup. Look,
Yeah.
my cup, my matching,
Yeah,
my cup that matches
yeah,
my shirt. My partner Sean, she's a lovely woman, love her to bits, right? She works. I won't tell you who she works for because they've got a social media policy, so you
Yeah,
have to be
that's-
careful. She works for a major supermarket chain, and the other day she come home and she said she come home from work. She said, we were selling off some tea bags cheap, so I bought a couple of bags, right? There's 420 tea bags in each one of these bags. She's got 2 of them, right? So I've now got 840 tea bags in the house. There's only one person that drinks tea in the house. It's me, right? And I don't drink it all the time. I actually prefer coffee. Throughout the day, when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is put the kettle on, and I've actually got a bean to cup coffee maker. So the first thing I do in the morning is I put my coffee on, and that coffee maker supplies me with coffee till about 6 o'clock in the evening. And then after that, when I need a drink in the evening, I'll make a cup of tea. So I only maybe drink 2 or 3 cups of tea a day. So I've calculated it's going to take me the best part of 5 years to get through these tea bags. But they were cheap, so I have to smile. It's going to take so long for me to get through these tea bags, but I love the thought of it. I can't work out why my audio has suddenly caught up with me. You see, this is what's bugging me. All right, I used to be out of sync. I'm now not out of sync. I'm now perfectly in sync. It just bugs the life out of me, and I can't work out why. But there we go. It's a new microphone I've got. I don't know how it's working. It's a new microphone. Hopefully, a lot better than the other ones.
Yeah, it's better than your the one that you used to have on your lapel. That lapel one was bloody awful, mate.
Oh right, okay. So this one's a lot better, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I've come to the end of my hour. In fact, I'm 5 minutes over my hour. I'm quite happy. I've got to take the wife to work at 9. Anything you want to chat about? Anything you want to say? You know, to our viewers out there, and I'll tell you exactly how many viewers we've got out there. We have got on D Live. I don't know if you know what D Live is, because I don't know what D Live is. We've got 0 viewers.
Oh dear.
On Facebook, on my page, The Woody's Place, we have 0 viewers. All right.
So we've been talking to Tracy all night.
On YouTube, we have 3 viewers.
Yeah, one of them's me.
One of them's me, right? And the other one's Tracy Turner. All right. On Twitch, I have 1 viewer. If you go into the eBay groups if you go into the eBay streaming groups, right, the biggest complaint they make is that nobody talks on streams.
Yeah.
And they say, "Oh well, I've got a community, but nobody talks to me. There's nobody ever talking. They just play games and they don't talk. Here's me that does nothing but fucking talk, and they don't come and visit. It's just comical that I'm giving them exactly what they want. But what I can tell you is that an awful lot of these are watched on replay.
Yeah.
Because YouTube captures a recording, and Twitch captures a recording. So there'll be a lot of people, Mickey, that will see this on replay. So just
Well, I hope we haven't been too boring then.
who gives a shit, right? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
A lot of people, they stream for money because you can make money out of streaming. There's no 2 ways about it. You can make money out of streaming and out of being on YouTube. I do it because I guess it's because I'm no longer a cab driver. That's why I think I do it. Because when you're a cab driver, you just like talking to people, so I no longer do it. So I'm going to let you into a little. I'm going to make a confession, and you're going to be quite surprised. Tracy, do you fancy coming on and being interviewed like Mickey was?
Yes, go on. Don't be shy. Say hello.
There is one thing about streaming. I do cheat. Right? I as you know, that when I was younger, I used to go on TV a lot, and the one thing I learnt about TV was skin shine. Right, so I'm actually wearing makeup.
I thought you only did that the weekends.
No. I wear makeup before I come on. I actually put makeup on to stop my skin from shining. I've actually got makeup on.
Shine. No. You can always do audio and not video if you like.
Yeah, like Mickey says, you can always do audio. It doesn't have to be video. I can do audio. There's nothing to be shy about. Look, if I can confess to people that I'm wearing makeup, right, I'm pretty damn sure that you can come on and do it. I mean, I don't care. I'm comfortable with my sexuality, and if anybody thinks I'm wearing makeup for obvious reasons, it's not. I'm just wearing a little bit of translucent powder on my forehead to stop the shine, which is something that you'll notice on TV. They do a lot. And if you look at your image, Mickey, you can see what I'm talking about because
Red.
you've got a great big shine on the top of your head. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's red.
Yeah.
Red.
Yeah. Well, I haven't got that because I've got makeup on to stop it from shining. The other thing I do before I come on air is I have a shave, but I don't have a. Yeah, I can't really talk to you about shaving, can I?
No,
No, no,
no.
no. I can't really talk.
I shave once a week whether I need it or not.
Yeah. I shave every other day, but I'm very old-fashioned with my shaving. I use the old double-sided, the old double-sided razor blades.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, with
Or the old bristle brush and the old
no, I use gel.
shaving foam. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't use shaving brush. I use gel. But I've got a proper. It's a Japanese-made razor, it's a butterfly razor. You drop the blade in, and you do the shave. Or I can shave with a cutthroat razor.
Yeah, I think the best shave I've ever had was in Turkey with a cutthroat razor.
The double-sided razor blades you used to get, don't you?
Yeah, the old Gillette one.
Yeah, Gillette and Wilkinson sword. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
Yeah.
I shave with.
Yeah.
Or my cutthroat razor, I have to break a blade in half and put it in my cutthroat razor. But I use my cutthroat razor, so I enjoy. That's the other thing I do before I come on air. That I shave. I don't bother with my hair anymore because I fucking haven't got any. But I have a good shave, and I do enjoy a good shave. And I'll tell you what, right? It's actually quite a nice experience. Having a shave is quite a nice experience, and it's something I quite enjoy. And I do make a bit of a routine of it, but I don't use a brush and or squirty foam. I use gel, and it literally just rub it on and shave. But I love my razor blades, and the best maker in the world, right? A blade make called Derby. All right, Derby are fantastic, and 100 blades cost me, including delivery, £6.
Nice.
So I use a fresh blade every time I shave. Now I've tried things like Gillette Max 3s, and I've tried things like these other cartridge razors, and my favourite was a company called Dorco. But even so, Dorco 4 blades will cost £12. And that will give me a month's shaving. Yeah, I can buy 100 Derby razor blades for £6. And Weishi is the name of my razor. It's a very big brand. It's very exclusive, and it's a butterfly razor. You twist the bottom, and it opens up like that. You drop your blade in, and you twist it to close it up, and then you shave it. You can adjust how tight the blade goes in against your skin, and it's very traditional, but you've got to watch yourself because you can cut yourself like crazy.
Ribbons, yeah.
Same with my cutthroat. When I use my cutthroat, if you've got to be so careful. I mean, it's taken me 40 years of practice. I mean, when I first started using a cutthroat, I cut myself to pieces. But I'm quite good, especially around here where I've got all these double fucking chins. Look at that. Nothing I can do about that. I actually seriously thought a couple of years ago about getting plastic surgery to get rid of these double chins. And I decided against it. I thought, sod it, if people don't like me because I've got double chins, then that's their loss, not mine. But yeah, that's the only thing that I do before I come on air is I make sure that I set my razor on the tightest setting. I give it a really nice shave. Yeah, it works. It really has cut down the stubble, because the trouble is my camera is it's got such high resolution. If I miss a bit, and I discovered that one day that I did miss a bit, and there was a great big bit of hair on the side of my face that it missed. But yeah, so that's that. So you just shave to keep yours trimmed, do you?
Yeah, just the sides. Yeah.
Would you use electric one?
No. I get Gillette delivered once a month.
What about for the length?
Well, here,
Yeah.
I just use, the clippers you use for your hair. Just stick a number 1 on it and run through it with,
Yeah,
with
so
a hair clipper.
an electric, yeah.
Yeah.
What, you use hair clippers?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, once a month, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I've never grown a beard or tash, so I don't know these sort of things. So these are things I've never grown one. Never fancied growing one. I mean, I run a number 2 through my hair once a month. That's my idea of a haircut. I never did that. Right, we're gonna go. I'm gonna go because I've got to get to. I need to go to the loo because what you don't know is my legs are shaking underneath. I'm actually so desperate for the loo there that my legs are shaking and everything else. I really need the loo. So I have no idea how these broadcasters do this for so long without the loo. So Higgins, if you're still there, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you. Goodbye. Tracy, I'll say goodbye to you. Mickey, thank you very much for this call, and I'll say goodbye to you.
It's been a pleasure. I hope I haven't been too boring.
No, not at all.
Do it again sometime.
Not at all. Let me just change screens. Well, I'm just changing screens. Like I said, there's going to be. I'm going to end our Skype call now, Mickey. So I'll speak to you another time. All right. Cheers. Oh, right. Okay. I've got to take my headphones off because that's the only way I could hear Mickey. That's the way that it goes. Well, this is another one that's run over the hour, and I've quite enjoyed myself tonight. Yes, good night, Tracy, and any other viewers. I really don't know what the viewing figures are, but I hope we've managed to have a good discussion on chronic illness, especially COPD. I don't know anything really about fibromyalgia, so I could do with a guest on there that would come on and tell me all about it. But you're too shy, so I'm sure I'll find somebody that I can. And if you're one of these people out there that disbelieves people with CFS or fibro, you know, give yourself a slap round the head with a shovel. All right, these are real illnesses. These are life changing illnesses. These are illnesses that really affect people. The same as COPD. The same as my bronchiectasis. I mean, you it's easy for you to look at me and think, oh, look, he looks quite healthy, but that's because I'm sitting in a chair and I'm not moving about. If you want to see it from this side, just how bad this disease is, what it does to me. So just don't go in with the attitude that everybody that says they've got a chronic illness is lying, because they're not. Some of us just don't want to make a big thing of it. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to say good night to you all. So good night, Tracy. Good night, Higgins. Good night, Mickey. And I'm off. So bye.